there are a variety of ways leaders can use this. I believe that we typically, in organizations, put people in roles. We look at the way they progress in the organization and say, okay, it's this role first, and then that role second, and then this is the third role that we're going to put them in. And we do all of that without considering who the person is. We just assume that if they perform well, then they go to the next thing. And as employees, we often think, if I'm going to be successful, that's what I have to do, whether or not it's something I really want to do. And this particular body of work is designed to help leaders look at the whole person when they're making developmental decisions for them, when they're helping to support their development or thinking about career advancement with an individual. Who is this whole person? What skills do I want them to develop in order to be successful in this organization? And then how can we leverage both their skills and their passions so that they're fulfilled with what they do, through what they do? And this notion of passion for leaders is really, it's a form of currency that they have at their disposal if they choose to use it properly. Because when we think about the ways people give of themselves to us in an organizational setting, we operate with sort of two streams of thinking. Behavioral economists would call it as social norm thinking or market norm thinking. And market norm thinking says if you hire an employee, they've gone to school, they've gotten some sort of an education, they've developed a skill set, that employee comes into the organization, and as the employee grows and learns in the organization and develops more skills, the expectation that person has from gaining those additional skills is that they'll be paid more money. That's the reward for the skill development. When you add a social norm perspective to this equation, then you begin to realize that people come into the world with a purpose. And as we grow and become more self-actualized, we get a deeper sense of what that purpose is and what our passions are, and we start to look for outlets for those in our lives. And if we are in a role at work where we have an outlet for our passions, then the remuneration for that, expressing that passion, is actually fulfillment. It's not money. And so leaders are ideally should be looking for that sort of fine balance between those two, between the market norm behaviors and the social norm behaviors of the people working for them. And passion then becomes a currency in that equation.
Yes.
And through that, they're able to generate more discretionary effort than they can imagine. Because as I was saying earlier, when people are working from that place where there's this deep connection to who they are and what they're doing, then their work is an expression of themselves rather than just something they do to be an economic means to an end. It becomes an expression of who they are. And since we spend, literally, back of the envelope calculation, more than 85,000 hours of our life at work, it's really important that be a fulfilling experience. And that be...
Absolutely. I love, you're actually putting to language things that, and perhaps this is why I was drawn to your work without even fully intellectually understanding why, Alaina. What you are explaining is, I think, how I lead, just kind of intuitively. Mm-hmm. And I never thought about it this way in terms of breaking it down into skills and passion and values. But I love how you've put all this together. Could you tell us how people can access the Passion Profiler? And then I'd like to move on and talk about your upcoming book, Passionality.
Absolutely. Well, there are really two ways for people to access our work. We have a corporate a website developed for our corporate or business clients that is thepurposelink.com, purposelink.com. And that has tons of information on the programs and the workshops and so forth that we offer to our corporate clients. A couple of years ago, I got a great big sort of smack in the head because I was getting a lot of information or requests from clients that I was working with to offer assistance to people that they knew who were not working in the company. My brother-in-law, can you do a session with my sister? My daughter's getting ready to graduate from college and doesn't know what to do. Can you do a passion profile for my daughter? Or can you work with my husband? Maybe he'll understand me better. And I began to realize everyone needs access to this work. Everyone needs the opportunity to understand what their passion archetypes are. So we created a website designed for the general public, and that website is called mypassionality.com, mypassionality.com. And through that website, people can actually access and purchase for a very reasonable price of $11.99 an access code to complete the abbreviated version of the Passion Profiler, and they will learn what their top 3 archetypes are and get a little bit of information on each of those top 3.
Excellent. Okay. Well, I know that our listeners will love having those 2 resources. We have organizational types and people who are entrepreneurs like I am now who can access one or the other site. So thank you very much for that information, Alaina. Thanks again to Alaina Love for being my guest today. Aren't these just great nuggets she shared with us? Now be sure to join us next week to hear more from Alaina. Next week she'll talk about the importance of discovering your passion and purpose beyond the workplace, so be sure to tune in. Now if you'd like to learn more about Alaina's work, you can reach out to her on Twitter. Her Twitter name is @WorkWithPassion. Not surprisingly, right? So that's an @ Work with Passion. Okay. You can also reach out to her on Facebook, and you can do that at facebook.com/The Purpose Link. The Purpose Link all smushed together /. You can also access the resources and tools that Ms. Love mentioned at either of these websites, www.thepurposelink.com or www.mypassionality.com. And MyPassionality, it's spelled MyPassionality, mypassionality.com. I love it. Thank you again, Alaina. Now, if you missed any part of this week's broadcast about passion and purpose, or what am I here for, you can listen to the podcast right here on Talk Network Radio, or you can also look us up on iTunes, SoundCloud, Alexa, and many, many other places. Now, before I close today's show, I just want to give a shout-out to the women, men, and our young people all around the world, because you know what? We are the ones. We are the ones. We are the ones we have been waiting for. Now, what do I mean by that? Here's what I mean. Don't wait for somebody else to step up to make things happen. Because you know what? They might not step up, but you can. You are the one who can make a difference in your own life so that you can also make a difference in the lives of others. Now, it's truly amazing when you think about it, how much impact we have as leaders in our own lives, in our own home, in our own families, with our own children. So moms and dads, even when it seems like your daughter or son isn't paying any attention at all to you, let me tell you something. They are. They're listening. They're actually soaking it all in. And more than anything else, they are watching you. Now, let me be really clear. They are scoping you out. They observe everything you say and do. Most importantly, they're watching you to see if what you say and what you do line up. Because our actions really do speak much, much louder than our words. Now, a good friend of mine who is a former CEO and a parent, she says, whether you're a parent, a leader, or, a leader in some way in the community, or you're head of something or in charge of something, in any context, even if you don't think of yourself as a leader, your walk has got to talk louder than your talk talks. Okay? I'm going to say that again. She says, your walk has got to talk louder than your talk talks. Now, why is that? Because that's how we build the bridge called trust, right? And that's how we strengthen our bond with those we care about, with those we love. That's how we deepen our relationships, one step at a time, inch by inch, mile by mile, and smile by smile, at home, with our friends, with our family, at work with our teams, and in any area of our lives, every single day, 365, 24/7. So, I just want you to ask yourself, how is your walk lining up with your talk? You know what? It's never too late to get your walk and your talk lined up, to get your act together, so to speak, so you can take it on the road and make the difference in someone else's life that only you can make. Remember this, how you live is how you do anything else. How you live is how you lead, it's how you parent, it's how you form friendships. How you live is how you do everything else in life. Now, if you happen to miss any part of this week's broadcast, or if you missed last week's show, you can listen to the podcast of the show at your convenience. You can even listen to it on the go. Check us out at www.talknetworkradio.com/Legacy Living, LEGACYLIVING, LegacyLiving.html. Now, before I close today's show, I just want to thank you again for tuning in, for allowing me to share a bit of my journey with what legacy living is all about. Not just living and learning, but living and learning and serving, so that you make a difference in your own life and in the lives of others. It's about being on purpose every single day, 365, 24/7. Legacy living is one of the many ways to make your life count. Once again, thank you for joining me for today's show. I'm your host, Dr. Gloria Burgess, and this has been Legacy Living, Make Your Life Count. Please join me again next week right here on Talk Network Radio for another show of Legacy Living, Make Your Life Count. We're here again, right here, Talk Network Radio. And remember, don't just count the days in your life. Make the days in your life count. That's what legacy living is all about. Have a fantastic day. And remember, make the days in your life count. God bless. That's our show today. I'm your host, Dr. Gloria Burgess. I hope you'll join me again next week. Until then, don't just count the days in your life. Make the days in your life count. That's what legacy living is all about. Here's to you. Have a fantastic day. Be sure to make it a yes kind of day. And remember, celebrate. Celebrate the music of your life. Make the days in your life